Welcome everyone to today's Facebook and YouTube Live. It has been a hot minute since I have been on here, but I am glad to see everybody. As always, do be sure to leave a comment below as to where you were from. It really is fun to see all of you make those connections and see just where everybody is living because a lot of you live in similar places. So, anyway, let's dive on in here. We have fall break coming up here in southern Utah this week. I know my kids are excited. They'll actually be with their dad this fall break. So I'm going to be taking some much needed self care, doing some online shopping. You guys, my kids have had growth spurts like crazy. It seems like the moment that I actually purchase what they need, new shoes, jackets, all the things, like they are just growing so fast. And so with all of the online shopping and clothing deals right now, I'm going to be taking advantage of those this week. But I am curious to see any of you ladies that have kids that are doing fall break. How are you spending your fall break this week? I am hoping to travel and go up north and just do some fun things and see some fall leaves. We do have comments coming in. Jill says, "Good afternoon from Minnesota." Jill, thank you for watching. Faye is just tuned in over on Facebook. We've got some people from Canada tuning in. Susan is from Michigan. Lisa is from Seattle, Washington. I sure do love Seattle this time of year. It is just beautiful and the air is crisp and fall is just in the air. Kit is tuning in from Denmark. Welcome. Glad you were here. And YouTube is kind of cool. You can see like different supporters now. Like YouTube has kind of changed a little bit. So it's kind of fun to see that. Stephanie says, "First time I've caught you live from Hickory, North Carolina." Welcome. Glad you could catch a live video. Mary's just tuning in over on Facebook. Hi, Mary. And Lynette is from Mesa, Arizona. I finally caught you live. Lynette, glad you were here. I actually have a lot of family that is from Mesa, Arizona. So we love that area of town. And as you guys know, the babies were born in Phoenix. And I am a Phoenix girl myself. That's where I was born and raised till I was about 6 and then moved to Las Vegas. But glad you guys are here. Caitlin is from Boca, Florida. The kids are growing up and changing. Where has time gone? I feel the exact same way. They're actually at a new season and phase, at least the girls are, that I'm noticing. And so it's been kind of fun to see that as they are kind of coming into their own as people outside of being quintuplets, branching out, making their new friends or making new friendships outside of each other, which is really cool, is what I've hoped for like this whole time. So that's been really fun. Jill asks, "How is Shaden doing?" We're going to cover that in just a minute here. Karen is tuning in from Australia. You guys know we have a large following from Australia. They had run about 7 years ago, some articles in the magazines and the papers over there and the news articles and stuff. And so we have this large group of women that are so supportive from Australia. So hello from Southern Utah. And Hannah is tuning in from Canada. Amber Stewart is from Australia as well. Love to you all. We love you right back. So let's dive on in here. Fall break is this weekend. I'm excited. I feel like I have just like I had the kids this last week. Like I've just gone and just been in like go mode for the longest time, taking care of my kids. I had 3 kids. Each of the girls came down with a stomach bug and it hit them hard, each of them in the middle of the night. So Daisy got sick first last week. It hit her, I want to say, I can't remember what night it was, but it was rough. And she is so sweet and so sensitive. So making sure that I was awake to hear her so that I could help her in the night. And then like 2 days later, it hit Violet first. And then and I finally got like everything cleaned up because my kids, it was that stomach bug where they throw up and they don't feel good and they've got a headache and they're dizzy. And so I was just busy all night taking care of sick kids. So, yeah, but it hit Vivi. And then about like after I got everything like washed, so it was a lot of laundry, it was baths. Then about an hour later, it hit Lily. And so Lily and Violet got to snuggle. I make them like what I call like a nest on the floor of my bedroom so that I can hear them. They're close to the bathrooms that I can help them. But those two just like snuggled each other. It was really sweet and also kind of sad at the same time. So it is that time in that season, as we are going back to school where kids are getting a little bit more sick. And so hopefully we dodge like the worst of it and that's over and done with. But you guys, we never know, like the kids come home with everything. So, um, that was last week. So the first 2 days of having my kids at their dad's house, I feel like I have just like crashed and needed to take some much needed self-care, and just resting because I was up 2 of those nights, maybe 3 of those nights just in case with my kids. So anyway, that is what I've been up to the last couple days. So it's nice to be back into the swing of things, getting some work done and being here on a Facebook and YouTube live. Okay, let's dive into some questions that have come in. Um, okay. So Cindy asks the first question: what is each of your child's favorite subject in school? Landon really loves choir right now. He's also taking a welding class, and he's actually taking a welding class with Tatum's brother, which is really cool. So he's learning some welding skills, and that's pretty fun. And then I would say Shaden's favorite class. Most of his classes actually are online through UVU. That's the school that he has been attending along with Tatum. Um, and then as far as the Quints, they like if you ask Lincoln, he would say recess is his favorite subject. If you asked Daisy, she would probably say art. Lily would probably say like art or music. Violet, perhaps reading. She does like reading. Who am I missing? Logan, definitely hands down for Logan is going to be mathematics. That kid asks me mathematical questions like right as I am like merging onto the freeway, driving, any like just waking up, he's always asking questions about math and he can calculate like large sums in his head where I even have to think about that. So it's kind of cool to see how different each of my kids are. Um, okay, next question is from Caitlin HM93 over on Instagram. How do the kids feel having to share Shaden and Tatum? Uh, Landon Landon's always been really close with Shaden, so those 2 have been, just best friends since the very beginning. They are 5 years apart, so they're super close. So now Landon just gets to like hang out with both of them, which is kind of fun. And it's fun to have another girl added to our family because we all love Tatum. Violet, as you guys know, has always been super close to her big brothers, especially Shaden. But Violet just feels like she has a big sister. So they don't really understand the term sister in law, but they do understand big sister and best friend all wrapped into one. And that's exactly how Tatum is. And we love that about her. So when my kids do get to see Shaden, it's kind of like a 2-for-1 deal because we almost always get to see Tatum at the same time. So it's just fun. My kids love spending time with those 2. And they will be heading down later in October. It is Tatum's mom's birthday later on in October. So we'll be celebrating, they'll be coming down to celebrate her. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see them. Next question is from Nancy. How are the new Mr. and Mrs. after that flooding? So if you guys have been watching in the last few days, I shared that Shaden was on the news. I think it was channel 2 a couple nights ago. There was some major flooding up in northern Utah. And Shaden works for the disaster repair team. They service all of Utah and I think Shaden said they give free estimates for, let's see, I wrote it down for fire, flooding, and mold. And so we had a lot of storms come in northern Utah and hit a few places pretty hard. So Shaden was on the job there when the news crew came out and interviewed him. So that was kind of fun to see. What he has been up to with work and how he's been able to help others that were in need. And one thing that I really took note of is when the camera crewman the journalist interviewed Shaden, he talked about how amazing it was how the community pulled together in those neighborhoods to help each other out. And I thought that was really cool because living in Utah, I have experienced that before when there's natural disasters. I've lived in neighborhoods where there were multiple fires within 2 weeks of each other, and the neighbors just check on each other, they pull together, they usually have a meeting spot, and then everybody helps each other out. I have lived in Southern Utah where there's been flooding, and again, people are amazing. They pull together, they sandbag areas that need to be sandbagged, and anyway, it's just remarkable to see how people come together in these neighborhoods of where they live and help each other out. Okay, next thing we were going to talk about is it is Amazon Prime Day. So online shopping, you guys, I'm a big fan of online shopping. It simplifies my life so much as a busy mom, having 5 kids the same age and 6 kids in one household at this point. I really love like Walmart online shopping and delivery. It comes straight to my door, groceries once a week. That's how I roll. It's amazing. Angela Terry's just tuning in. Hi, Angela. And Sherry just joined us as well. So as far as Amazon Prime Days, they have been running for 2 days now. They had it yesterday and it ends tonight. And I'm going to be doing some online shopping. You guys, I have not bought myself a pair of pants and I've needed a new pair of pants for like 5 years. I've just been getting by. So I'm going to be doing some online shopping for some self-care, some basic tops. I do need a new fall jacket. Mine is just so well worn. And then I will be doing some Christmas shopping for my kids, for little grandma, for my mom, for my sister. So I'm going to be sharing in my stories today some of my favorite deals that are going on, things that my kids love. So if you're looking for ideas for Christmas or for your own kids, I'll be sharing some of the things that are on sale that my kids love. So keep checking back in with my stories. I'll be sharing that. One of my favorite things I was going to share with you guys is this ColourPop Blush Crush. I've shared this before. So friends on Facebook, you can see that, and YouTube, you can see that as well. This is on sale today. I have bought 2 palettes of this because I absolutely love these colors. I favor these 3 colors, this one and this one. They're awesome if you guys can see that. So I think it's less than $10 right now. So check stories here. As soon as I get off of here, I will be sharing that. I swear by this product, like you don't need very much. It's affordable makeup, and this color palette goes with every skin tone. I love that. So that one is on sale today. And then this is kind of gross because I use this so much, but this Elta MD UV Clear, I use this under my makeup. And in Southern Utah, I really need a sunscreen that works really well with my skin. It's acne prone. Um, and I'll show you guys, like, it's really creamy and it dries clear. So it goes on white, but it dries on clear. And I love this stuff. I wear it under my makeup. I do have PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. And so I do have hormonal acne now that I'm older. So this really is a good skin barrier for sunscreen. Sorry, I've got a text coming in there. So that's a product that's on sale today too. So I'll be sharing that one. And then I've talked about this before, but this Boing Bright On Concealer by the company, the brand Benefit. I really love this stuff. And this stuff again is really creamy. You don't need very much. This is the best deal. That is the color lychee is the one I use. It goes on really quick. And I apply this under my eyes and then just pat dry. I get really dark circles from lack of sleep, being a busy mom, having a bunch of kids. And it just helps me feel refreshed and I look awake. So this is my other go-to. So I will be sharing that in my stories as well. But if anybody else is doing some Amazon Prime Day shopping today, what are you purchasing? They've had a lot of good deals the last couple days. So I will be doing that later today as well. Okay, Gina Marie asks a great question. She says, what's your favorite stores you shop for that have good prices and sales, like for food and for clothing? I've mentioned this before. I really love Walmart. They will deliver your groceries straight to your door. I think they just started offering prescription delivery too, which would be a game changer, especially when I have sick kids. And because my kids have eczema, and so I have to have special things as far as like topical creams for my kids, which will be really helpful. So I am going to start doing or trying out the shopping for prescriptions where they deliver it, and I will let you guys know how that goes. I also love shopping at Smith's or I think they call what else do they call Smith's grocery stores? Is it Kroger maybe? But they have really good deals. If you are local to Southern Utah, I really like shopping at the Smith's, the newer one that is just off of the freeway as you're coming into St. George. They always have really great deals on flowers, surprisingly. I can always find flowers on clearance. Just the basic, plain, classy white ones are my absolute favorite. And you can almost always find those white flowers there on clearance. So I really love shopping Smiths for deals and like case lot sales. As far as online shopping and in-store shopping, I really love TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods. And I have been to so many locations between Phoenix, Las Vegas, California, or I guess Las Vegas would be Nevada, Washington, Oregon. I still feel like one of the best ones is here in Southern Utah because it's a Home Goods and a TJ Maxx combined. But now they offer online shopping and it is a game changer. I have ordered t-shirts. I think this white shirt that I'm wearing right now, I got online at TJ Maxx. It's sensory friendly. And it goes with everything, just plain white t-shirts. So I really love shopping online. Those places, they have really great deals on children's clothing too. So I will be linking in my stories deals and things that I am looking at for my own children. So if that benefits you guys, your grandkids, your kids, if you love online shopping as much as I do, stay tuned for that. I, of course, do love Amazon and it comes fairly quickly to my home as we are in need of things. So there are things that I subscribe and save to because it's cheaper that way. And I really find that having that Amazon Prime membership really does pay for itself. Between videos, listening to music, and then the actual shopping part, they also offer groceries, which has been really helpful. And then I really love shopping Target online for shoes because, as you guys know, I'm buying multiples of things. And when I find a good deal, I will buy like 3 sets or 2 sets of something. I do buy individual things for each of my kids as well, and then they decide what they wanna wear every single day, so it's kind of fun to see what they pick out. Janelle asks, "How are the kids?" They are doing good. They are just growing like crazy, but doing good. And then I had a bunch of questions again coming in about dating. And Granny Suzanne asks, I think she was over on Instagram, asked, "Are you going to take a break from dating?" And then more questions coming in. Are you still together with your boyfriend, Chad? So I will be addressing that. I talked about it in my last Facebook and YouTube live, but if you haven't heard, Chad and I are taking some space. We are taking a break from dating. We've both been really busy focusing on our kids, our families, and work. This is his very busy time with work. Um, and then I have just been taking some much needed time for some self care and reflection. I have been focusing on furthering my education. So I've had a bunch of people send me messages in the DMs about how they were divorced, went back to school, or they found themselves as a single mom and they wanted to better themselves through education and more opportunities for their family. And so I have been busy doing that. So I'm excited to go back to school soon. But I have been taking some online, they're kind of like quicker courses, learning a bit more about social media, getting better at editing and creating content, which has been wonderful because it means I get to be at home with my kids. And then I had another question come in about, are you gonna continue dating? And I think that's like an open-ended question. I don't wanna date anybody else. Um, and Chad continues to be somebody that I trust, I respect, I admire, somebody that's continues to be a wonderful support to me and my family. So hopefully that answers your question. Dee just asked a question. Deluxe, how is your furniture flipping going? I've kind of taken a pause from the furniture flipping. I have about 3 pieces of furniture that I need to paint and I need to flip. Um, so I'm happy to share with you guys like some of the products and tools I used because a lot of this stuff came from Amazon and they work really, really well. So if you're interested in doing that, fall is a great time as the weather is cooling off to furniture flip and scoop up deals from Facebook Marketplace and thrift shops. That has been my favorite go-to. I have found that dressers and nightstands sell the best in my area. So those are things that I have sold. Um, Janelle asks, can you do an interview of the kids? I would love to. This next vlog that I've been working on, my kids are so funny. So you'll get to see a little bit more of what we were up to the last few days. I took them up to a cross country meet. My uncle and my dad, my grandpa, extended family and cousins are cross country long distance runners. And so I wanted to introduce that to my kids and just open their eyes to the different types of sports that there are. And it was kind of fun to see what each of them did during that time. So stay tuned for tomorrow's vlog because that's coming up. And Janelle, you'll get to see my kids' thoughts about it too, because I did interview them on some of those talking points. Leisha is from South Africa. Welcome. She says hello and love you. Love you right back. Okay, well, this kind of wraps up my Facebook and YouTube live for today because I've got to hustle and go get Landon from school, and then he's got a soccer game tonight. So we are just busy. Natalie asked one more questions. What are your plans during fall break? I need to catch up on some online shopping for my kids. They've had growth spurts, so I'll be buying things like jackets, shoes. Logan's had another growth spurt, and Daisy too. And I swear, you guys, I just barely bought all of my kids' school. So I feel like when there's back to school shopping, I kind of have like summer back to school in Southern Utah, and then I have actual fall clothing for back to school, things like jackets, pants, shoes, warm socks. So I will be sharing those deals in stories for any of you curious, wanting to do online shopping for your kids or grandkids. I'm happy to share those deals with you. But I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And I am going to go pick up Landon and then get him to soccer. But we are doing well. Thank you guys for your continued love and support of my family. And stay tuned for tomorrow's vlog. It will be coming out shortly. I'm excited to share that one with you. I had some kids that were pretty funny at that cross country meet. And then keep watching my stories throughout the day today. I will be sharing some of my favorite Amazon Prime Day deals. Love you guys, and we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.